Okay, welcome back. We have just finished the first half of our video and we're going to do the second half now, where we are looking into weird toys, mainly the one that your mum loves. I know she's a big fan, but we're also looking today at kids' toys, because from the ages we realised that people hate kids and give them the weirdest toys known to man. That can be from sexist cleaning trolleys to mechanical babies that can crawl. So we're going to find out the next 13 toys which we think are going to be weird and wonderful. But before we do that, let me know down below what you think is going to be the most creepiest or disturbing toy possible. And while you're there, subscribe. And I won't talk about your mum's toys again. Think that's fair?
The face
Oh
bank.
my god.
One of the things that you're supposed to teach your children at a young age is the art of saving your money and finances. Naturally, children don't have a whole lot of money when they're under the age of 5 or when they're even a little older. But the point that I'm trying
25.
to make is that the piggy bank is one of the most important things that you can get a young child, and it's easy to inspire them to use it. But naturally, many have come forward with ideas on how to make the piggy bank more fun for kids. Usually it means something like a nice visual or even an interactive element to it.
That is so weird.
Sadly though, that's where the not one but two versions of the face bank come into play. As the name would suggest, this is a piggy bank that's shaped like a face. That's it. That's the look of the bank. It's a face. But the creepy part is that the face moves as you give it a coin. If you look at it, it takes the coin as if it's eating it, and you'll notice how it's watching you with those beady little eyes that just makes you wonder what it's thinking.
How are the eyes everywhere? That actually makes me feel really uncomfortable. Just there, staring into my soul. Just...
I'm getting creeped out by it, if you can't tell. And the fact that they made two different versions of the thing, I mean,
brave.
why? Why would you do that? What do you have against children that would lead you to make such a creepy kind of piggy bank? Parents, if you're watching this and you need to get your children a piggy bank, just go the basic route and tell them to take care of it. I promise you, it's going to work.
Oh, do you know what? Like it's an 8. There's just something weird about it. Yeah, an 8.
Snack time kids. The Cabbage Patch Kids are easily one of the most iconic children's toys of all time. Their simple yet cute design endeared them to parents and children all over the world, and they were also a bestseller for quite a while. However, as you may have guessed, not everything that they did was a winner. Specifically, we'll rewind back to 1996 when the newest Cabbage Patch doll came out for Christmas. It was known as the Snack Time Kid doll and was designed to eat certain plastic foods that the child would give it. Which, in and of itself, is not really that big of an issue, right? It's even kind of adorable when you think about the kid feeding the doll. But here's the problem. The doll came with a motorized mouth, and it didn't have an off switch. As such, young girls were playing with the doll, and they would sometimes stick their fingers into the moving mouth and get bit.
Oh, that's funny. Just kids feeding this toy, just like... Bum, bum, bum. Again, why are people sticking their fingers in this toy's mouth though? That's the real question we should be asking.
Their hair would somehow get caught in the mouth and get stuck, leaving the doll literally clinging to the young child and effectively eating it.
So, Mom, my Cabbage Patch toy's got my hair. It won't let go, help me!
Its head. Mattel claimed that they could not replicate this and that the doll went through rigorous testing to make sure that it was safe, but clearly they did not go far enough, as there were actually multiple incidents within just the first few days of its release.
Good.
The only way for the parents to stop the mouth from moving was to remove the batteries that were in the doll's back. So yes,
Wow.
they clearly did not do enough to child-proof this doll. But then again, you never know what a child's going to do outside of a testing laboratory once they get a toy.
As a toy, I guess a 6. That's pretty weird. But no worse than the face bank.
Baby Laugh-A-Lot. When it comes to making
Oh, this might be
dolls,
good.
a very easy thing for toy makers to do is to make one that can replicate a certain thing or to say a certain thing in order to make a child
didn't know
feel
about
at
that.
ease. But with Baby Laugh-A-Lot, they did not exactly do that in the right way. Making a doll that laughs, well, that is totally reasonable, completely understandable,
Yep, fair.
and it could work really well. However, if you watch the infinitely creepy commercial, you're going to listen to how the doll laughs, and your life will never be the same. It is the laughter that the devil might make.
Great.
No, really, I'm sure that laugh is something that you may hear as you descend into the underworld. This is the kind of laughter that makes people actually fear dolls. So yes, we want no part of this doll, and I hope that nothing like this ever gets made again.
Me too. Imagine just sitting there at night and like, I don't know, something knocks it or you knock it or it, I don't know, it just starts moving. Next thing all you hear is just so the dog in the corner of the room is like, fuck. I think I'd fucking punch it. It's like, bang! Get out! Stupid ass.
The Jibba Jabber. The next one was banned for an entirely legitimate reason, and we really want to know who thought that it was a good idea. To put it simply, the Jibba Jabber was a toy that was meant to be played with by shaking it. It doesn't sound so bad at first, except that the way you shook it was by violently shaking its neck back and forth like the thing owed you money.
I think this was a bad example. I know. Let's just give our toys shaken baby syndrome. You know, there's something that can be life or death to kids. But you know, we'll put it into a toy because we're pretty cool guys. Said no one ever.
A playful experience that you would want your kids to interact with, and things would only get more weird when the toy maker labeled the thing as a stress reliever and even put a label on it stating why you shouldn't do this act with your babies. That's right, people realized that the toy was basically a substitute for shaking babies, which can be fatal, and they threw a fit about it, and rightfully so.
I give that a pretty good high 8. This is pretty weird. As a stress relief with kids. What are they got to be stressed about, man? How many Legos they get in their nose? Stressful times as a kid.
8. Breast milk baby. Yeah, you probably thought I was done with the weird things that some of these dolls can do, but you would be wrong. Back when Bill O'Reilly was part of Fox News, he would come across a doll that was so disturbing in his mind that he had to rant about it on the air. The doll in question was the breast milk baby. If you're getting a picture of a doll that mimics the act of breastfeeding, well, you would be right. That's exactly what it was. It would make a sucking sound when put against certain parts of a young girl that was holding it. Bill O'Reilly didn't exactly like that, and neither did a lot of other parents. In their minds, it was wrong that a child would want to know about breastfeeding or even want to do it with their baby. Whether you agree with this is irrelevant.
Do you know what? I can see both sides. Breastfeeding is natural. But kids shouldn't fucking do it. Don't think you ever could get it back onto the bathing. Maybe, do you know what? I'd give that one a 5. It's not creepy. It is creepy, but it is also makes sense so kids can learn.
Skinny bones. For this next toy, we go retro to the 1970s, where, as many people have said, someone must have been really high to make a toy like this. The Skinny Bones was a toy that kids literally would put together themselves in order to make a life-size toy that was basically nothing but appendages and bones. This is the bare minimum.
This was a magazine that either my grandparents or parents bought me, and every week you get a new part of the body, which you then have to put together in a certain order. And yeah, cool as a kid, but then it just got a bit creepy, and it didn't just have the internals, it had externals. Like, it had the skin, and I don't know what was more freaky, the head on its own or the skin on it. And it, I don't know, just a combo of creepy and weird. And I used to have a stand that used to sit in the corner of my room, and honestly I just don't even know why. Oh, it's a scratch. But Yeah, some weird toy that just sat in my house, and I think I got rid of it like the other day.
Doll toy. I mean, what in the world? It's not really difficult to see why this is nightmare fuel to some, and it's just a lazy design overall. I mean, did someone have some fun with some sticks one day and say, "Oh, I bet I can make a toy out of this"? Well, they did, and it lives on in painful memories as a result.
As a review, I'd give it a 2. It's not the worst on this list. I wouldn't say it needs to be banned.
Play-Doh extruder. Now you may be thinking, how in the world could a person possibly screw up Play-Doh? I mean, it's Play-Doh, and to be perfectly clear, the Play-Doh itself is fine. Hasbro did not screw that up in any kind of way. However, when it came to some of the accessories that you could get and use with the Play-Doh, you have one issue with a certain extruder. To put it simply, it was a device as part of a cake mountain playset and was meant to help you dish out the icing in order to decorate the cake, which on the surface level probably sounds great to many. But if you take a look at the extruder, you can tell me what you think you see. If you're like several parents, you see a certain reproductive organ, and they were not too happy with that at all. And when that's the complaint that people are giving, you just have to wonder who designed it and how it was approved without someone saying, "Hey, doesn't that look like a..."
Maybe it's pretty valid to get rid of that one. 6. But we all know that your mum loves it.
No name.
Oh my god.
Without a doubt, one of the things that drives toy makers is the seasons of the year. They will often try to make a doll or a toy that is perfect for that season so that children and parents will get it when it's in fashion and then maybe get it again the following year. Halloween is not really a season that you necessarily associate with dolls, but make no mistake, there are always Halloween-themed toys during the month of October, and some of them come out looking like Little Miss No Name. Yes, it is a real doll that was actually advertised for children, and it looks like a young homeless girl who is about to die at any moment. Someone, though, thought that it was a good idea.
Don't you mind just giving that to your young children going, yeah, by the way, here's a toy that's on the edge of death. Go play it. I think my kids would honestly kick me in the head.
Skipper.
That doesn't sound bad.
Now, here's another Barbie failure, but there is a twist in this one, that it was not actually Barbie who failed her, but her little sister, Skipper. Skipper was a big addition to the Barbie family back in 1964, but just a decade later, the people at Mattel felt that it was the right time to make Skipper grow up.
Brilliant.
Why? Nobody has any idea, but the idea that they came up with to showcase Skipper's new age was something else altogether. The growing up Skipper doll worked as follows. When you bought it, Skipper would be in her child form. But then, when you rotated her arms to age her up, she got taller and then got a bigger chest. I wonder how suggestive that is. But yeah, fans were outraged at what their children could do with the doll, and so they stopped making it, but others did not, which included having one in 2007 that was equally as bad, if not even worse.
Just rotate the arm and next bit. Just... Whose idea was that? Do you reckon it's women that work at Mattel for Barbie, or just fat creepy men? It's just sat there, it's like, how can we make this white kid's toy just all gross and...
Wow. I mean, just wow. I didn't even know what to expect from the final entry, but a doll that allows you to shave it in some rather creepy way, that's definitely a choice. But it does get better. The person who made this doll was apparently trying to do a social commentary on matters of the world, which is not the worst thing in the world, but did you really have to do it with a children's toy? Also, just imagine the mess that parents would have to deal with from the kids shaving this doll all over. It ends up being a creepy and weird doll, and it's one that no children should ever have to play with.
That gets a good old... Yeah, that gets a high 8, 9. Surely that's a one-time use as well. You've shaved the baby's head. It's never going to grow back. It's not real hair. That's just... And also, why is the hair, under the armpits like this? And it was on the wrists, I think, as well, all the ankles. I mean, If you want to shave a baby, be my guest. Alright guys, I think that's there. We're gonna wrap it up. I want you guys to let me know what you think was probably the worst. I think for me, shaving the baby, that's probably the finishing one. Like, why would anyone need to shave a hairy child? I don't know. You tell me. If you guys can think of any weird or wonderful toys that you can remember from your childhood, let me know down below. I'll research them, make them into like a little PowerPoint thing, and we can react to them as a presentation together. Yeah, sounds cool. Let me know down below what you think was the worst. And while you're there, like and subscribe so we can do this again.